Welcome back to the Voice of Boxing. We're in the Potteries today in Stoke-on-Trent, and the undefeated Kyle Davies is preparing just a few weeks to go for a big November the 8th date here at the King's Hall in his home against the undefeated Aaron Bird. It's a fight rescheduled, was meant to happen in Manchester. Now it's coming to Kyle's backyard. There's an extra treat in store as well. Callum Simpson, the British, Commonwealth and European super middleweight champion. He's come down from Barnsley. They're good mates outside the ring, Callum and Kyle, but when they get into sparring, it is tasty. So we're going to give you a little preview on that. We love following the length and breadth of the country, the different prospects, the different levels of boxing. Kyle is really one to watch out for in the future. This is the Voice of Kyle Davies. Kyle, fantastic to see you. You were scheduled to fight Aaron Bird in Manchester. It didn't work out that way.
No.
You were heading up to the weigh-in and there was a crash. They've called this collision course.
I cut my face a little bit and shoulder it a bit, but I didn't say any of that. You know, I got in the back of the ambulance, got out of the ambulance quick as I could. It wasn't safe for me to fight, and so it was taken out of my hands. I would have boxed. We're here now, and we're getting ready for November the 8th.
So what happens November the 8th?
I win. 2 belts come in with me. I just know I've got what it takes to win, and I won't lose. I can't lose.
You stood this boy, Norris! Good shot!
You've got skills, you've got power, you've got a lot about you in your arsenal now, and you're still young, so...
Yeah, I think that's something that people underestimate. I think they think because I'm young and this and that, and I might just be a puncher and what, but I know I've got, you know, I've got everything, and I've got experience. I first started sparring yard at 16 or 17, and I might not have had, you know, the amateur experience, but, you know, I'm 24 now, and I've been in the ring with these doing 10, 8, 15 rounds since 17, and I think that makes a big difference.
Yard, Whittaker, Richards,
yeah, I've sparred people that fought for world
lot.
titles. Yeah, I've been at that level. Now I turn up and fight like I am better than you, you know. All I've got to do is perform. That's all I've got to do.
Callum Simpson here today. He's like a big brother, he's like a best mate, but when you're in the ring, you go at each other. It's fantastic to watch, actually.
Yeah. And it's like I say, it's experience there, like, you know, like I said, we go at each other and it's real, and that's only ever going to help on fight night, because, you know, when someone brings something to me, I'm like, I've done this, sparring, you know, such and such did this, you know, Callum did this for Rusty, or, you know, such and such did this, and I think that's what I'm saying about experience. I'm gaining it in them spars.
I'm in my Crocs.
It's all over the gym.
I've been looking for my Crocs. I've got some Crocs just for when I'm sparring. I'm in gym. I can put my box. So take my boxing boots off, put my Crocs on. You know, waterproof, whatever. Stops them all stinking from sweat. Since Kyle last in gym, I've got
What size feet are you? These are 12s. I only got 12.
Yeah, this is 12. Fed me. Well, I'll let them off.
Great to see you, Callum. What a spar there with Kyle Davies. You two know each other really well, don't you?
We all, myself and Kyle, we always help each other out when he's got a fight coming up, a big fight for him as well coming up. So
I know he looks up to you. I guess you're like a big brother in a way, are you?
yeah, it's a brother relationship. We beat each other up. That's what me and myself and my brother are like. So yeah, it's exactly the same. I can remember when I was 10 and 0, I was going for my first area title. You know, he's got 2 big titles he's fighting, his first championship fight as well. So yeah, and obviously I want to try him. You know, he's a great lad, great family, and I want to help him as much as possible. He's very mature, he's tough, he's strong, he can punch very hard. He can do everything, to be honest. You know, he can box and he can fight inside as well. You know, when you're going punch for punch and you're trading, he can stand there and he can fight, and he's tough.
What are you learning from Callum?
Oh, there's lots. I can't give them away, but I'm learning every spar is a tough spar. I'm not ever turning up for for a move about. If people watch Callum and might think, oh, I think I could exploit this or that, but it's, you know, he's very good at what he does, and I think I'm taking little tips off him. But I think once you've been doing it for so many years, it just becomes ingrained in you.
It's natural.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine not boxing.
So your mum does so much for you, and also you've got a big sponsor too, and you couldn't do it without them.
Oh no, without my mum, you know, Carl at Magna, I've got Gary as well that helps out. Without them, you know, even Joe as well, taking time, you know, to come down, even in the morning, 6 o'clock we were here the other day before work. Without everyone, it's not possible. Even Pat, you know, rearranging the show, without people helping, you know, I'm only one part of the puzzle.
People don't know so much about Joe. No. We've seen a lot of him up close in the last couple of years. He's a bit of a hidden secret, isn't he?
Not helping him out, because I'm sure he'd want, you know, more fighters and more, but it helps me out because people don't know how good Joe is, and I think maybe, you know, you get overlooked. And we have been in gyms before where you walk in and you're like, oh, are you sparring? Yeah, and nothing's said, and then you get in and do 6-8 rounds, and then they're like, what's your name again? You know, I can see how good of a coach he is. And also being there for me personally as well, as not just coming in the gym shouting, barking orders. You know, speak to each other every day. And he's got some good up and coming fighters coming through, and I think we'll even see through them how good of a coach Joe is as well, not just through me.
But Kyle, it is a chance for you to build boxing here in Stoke.
You know, I hear a lot of people talking about other fighters and watch other fighters live, and I feel like I've never got the chance to really, you know, people have always said, oh, you're pretty good, aren't you? But have never watched me. And I think, you know, if I would have went and got that knockout I got, you know, last time in Stoke, I wouldn't be able to walk the streets without someone going up for a fight. So I think, you know, selfishly as well, I'm looking for that little bit of notoriety, people actually coming and watching and saying, I've seen him in the flesh, and he is the real deal, not just a friend of a friend's told a friend. People haven't seen the best of me. I haven't even been took out of second gear. And I think you've seen me box before, and you know, it's been fights where it's been tough, but I don't think I've really shown that, you know, what I can really do. And I only just was getting into my groove last fight, and it was over, and that weren't a fluke either. I mean, obviously different outcomes come with different fighters. I'm not saying Aaron's necessarily going to be there to that happen. That neither is maybe other opponents. I'm not turning up to fight someone else's fight, and I know how to fight my fight, and he might think he's going to fight his fight, but you know, I've learned how to make it my fight without him even knowing, and it's going to be a long night for him.
You've been a friend of the voice of boxing for a long time, but now it's the time, the voice of Kyle Davies. Yeah. This is your moment. So what happens November the 8th?
I'm going to be walking out with 2 belts.
No doubt.
No doubt.